Yo, what's up everyone? Just finished another week of training, so I'm gonna do my little recap. This week has been probably the best week I've had in a long time. Nothing hurt, which, knock on wood, hopefully it stays that way. But yeah, so Monday I did my 6s on bench, and I'm setting up bench and squats a little differently. I'm doing bench by RPE. And with squats, since I'm coming back from the knee injury, I'm starting light and basically just adding weight each week. So I'm not programming it by 1% RM or anything like that, or an RPE. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna go into explaining the difference between setting up your program by a percentage of your 1 rep max or an RPE. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, on Monday, I worked up to 295 for 6 on bench, which felt great. Tuesday I did squats and deads, and on squats I hit 345 for 6s, on deadlifts 435 for 6s, and then on Thursday I hit 315 for 4 on bench, which was pretty solid. 315 probably moved the best I've ever seen it move. It honestly didn't feel too heavy, and I probably could have got a solid 6 reps if I could keep my tightness. I usually find that as I bench, I start to lose some of my arch or some of my back tightness, so reps can get a little more loose as I get tired, but everything went well there. And then on Saturday, I did squats and I did 365 for 3 sets of 4, and I had 0 knee pain, straight up 0, like the best squats I've felt in a very long time. I was honestly surprised when I was doing squats that nothing hurt. And if you've been following this, and especially if you've been watching my Instagram videos, you'll see that I've been going not quite as deep. In the past when I squat, I pretty much squat to the ground, but now I've been going about 2 to 3 inches below parallel, which is still plenty deep, but nowhere near as deep as I used to go. So I'm not sure if it's just the time, the rehab stuff I've been doing, or going less deep on squats, or the combination of all those things. But my knee is honestly feeling really good, so I'm gonna continue with this less deep squatting technique and see how it goes. I also started deadlifting in these A7 International deadlift slippers, and I've only done 2 workouts with them, so I'm not gonna give a review yet. But what made me want to purchase these is I've used deadlift slippers in the past, and they didn't have this strap on it. So when I would deadlift in those, I felt like the slipper would kind of roll to the side and it didn't stay on good. So when I saw that A7 put a strap on the deadlift slipper, I was like, you know, for 30 bucks, I'll give it a try. My current shoes, my Innovative Bear, what are they, 210s, have holes in them. So it's like, instead of dropping 100 bucks on another pair of those, I decided to drop 30 on these. And so far I like them, but again, I won't go too much into these quite yet. So yeah, overall training is going well. I'm feeling optimistic for once. It's been a while since I've trained with this much pain-free. Again, knock on wood, because hopefully this continues. But now I want to go into the weekly topic, which is setting up your training based on a percentage of your 1 RM or an RPE. So like I said at the beginning, right now I'm setting up my bench. I'm working up to a top set at 9 RPE. And what RPE, when you talk about going up to a set of 9 RPE, what that basically means is the max weight I can do with 1 rep left in the tank. So an RPE of 10 would be an all-out max. You can't do any more reps, you can't do any more weight. An RPE of 9 would mean you could do 1 more rep. An RPE of 8 would mean you could do 2 more reps. And an RPE of 7 would mean you could do 3 more reps. And when I set up my programming for myself and my clients, I normally don't program anything lower than an RPE of 7. The reason being is anywhere below that is pretty much going to be a warm-up. So for example, if I set someone's program up for 3 sets of squats at 8 RPE, they're basically trying to find a weight that they can do for, I forgot what I said, squats at 3 sets of 5 at 8 RPE. So what they're trying to do is find a weight that they can perform for 5 reps with 2 reps left in the tank. So they're basically using the weight they could perform for 7 reps, but only performing 5 reps. And I'll try to put some stuff on the screen over here to kind of give you some numbers and a visual to keep this making sense. But yeah, again, the basic breakdown, 10 RPE is an all-out set. You couldn't do any more weight or any more reps. 9 RPE is 1 rep left in the tank. 8 RPE is 2 reps left in the tank, and a 7 RPE is 3 reps left in the tank. So you're basically training based on how your body feels that day and finding what weight allows you to hit the rep ranges or rep numbers for that RPE. So my memory card was full and I don't know exactly where I left off, so I'm going to start recording talking about programming based on a percentage of a 1 rep max. So with programming based on the 1 rep or percentage of your 1 rep max, you're setting a predetermined weight for that workout. So for example, you may do something like bench press 3 sets of 10 at 65% of your 1 RM. So you would take your 1 RM, multiply it by 65%, and that would give you the weight you're going to use for your 3 sets of 10. Now, I personally like using a percentage of my 1 RM because it makes me do weights I probably wouldn't do on bad days. So for example, if I'm benching and weights are feeling heavy, I may underestimate how much I can actually do that day because I'm not feeling that great. But if I know that my program calls for a certain weight, I may push myself a little harder and end up having a good workout. So that's one plus I like about it. On the other end of the spectrum, you may have days where you're feeling crappy and have a predetermined number and not be able to actually hit it, and so you might not hit your sets and reps and feel like it's a bad workout. So both RPE and percentage 1 RM have their pros and cons. You can actually utilize both of them. So for example, you could go into the workout and say, I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 at 65% of my 1 rep max, or a 7 to 8 RPE. So it kind of gives you a little bit of flexibility to auto-regulate the weight you use. So if you're warming up and you're like, there's no way I can do 65% for 10 reps today, you could choose a weight or work up to a weight that was a 7 to 8 RPE for 10 reps. So again, both RPE and percentage 1 RM have their pros and cons, and they can honestly both be used at the same time. One strategy I like doing, especially for bench press and squats, is working up to a top set of 9 RPE and then taking some weight off and doing some drop down sets. So for example, if let's say like on Monday I did 295 for 6 reps at 9 RPE, I may drop back down to 255 and then do 2 to 3 more sets of 6 reps to get into more volume or more work. So again, there's lots of ways you can set things up. This is kind of just like a brief breakdown between RP and percentage 1 RM. I have videos on YouTube, I believe, going over this as well. I'll put a link below in this video, so in case you want to watch that. And I'll probably post this up on the journal itself. I'll post the video talking about RP and percentage 1 RM training below this. But yeah, that's it for this week. Very positive week. My knee is not hurting. Hopefully it continues that way. And I'm optimistic I can actually start lifting some decent weights again. Bench press is honestly going really good, so I'm happy about that, but squats and deadlift need some work again. So I appreciate you guys watching. As always, thank you for the support and encouraging messages and emails. Be sure to check out the other information on prbreaker.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I post the most stuff on Instagram. I usually post daily videos and daily pics and stuff, so be sure to follow me on there to see more frequent updates. All right, guys, thanks for watching as always.